Alright, Satsuki, go! Or not. Can he not hear me? We must be having some audio troubles. Let me fix that.
The tie, man. Fish your tie.
Oh, my lord, nigga. Act like my damn mom, nigga. Shit.
Bro, is your hair still on your face, man?
This nigga, bro, the hoes like it. Damn, goddamn, it's new shit. So the god, nigga, always bitching. Fuck.
My check.
Nigga, they said the mic was working. All right, bro. Hey, where the hoes at? Where the hoes at? Where the hoes?
We're live!
Oh, we on? Live from the underbelly of hell itself, it's your favorite Floridian, Satsuki the Savage, joined by his goddamn self, presenting to you the second edition of Best Boy Wars. Before we jump into the fray, I have an important announcement to make. Usually, Best Boy Wars only recognizes outstanding characters in the medium of anime, but this year, one character who has shown promise will come from the medium of manga. And to reiterate, the one rule of this tournament, there will be one boy chosen to represent an anime. There will not be multiple boys coming from one series. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce each character by their seeding from lowest to highest. Bear in mind, folks, the seeding was not determined by myself, but was based on the amount of favorites these characters had on my anime list. Now, let's see our contestants.
And we're done.
We off? Fuck, damn. Take off this goofy ass tie. At number 8, we have Leo from Arte. Not exactly a strong looking candidate, but who knows? We have seen upsets happen before, so why not again? Coming in at number 7, we have Rikuyo Ozumi, hailing from the anime of Seen Yesterday for Me. Can he prove that pure slice of life anime MCs are with the shits? At number 6, hosting one of the most intimidating looking participants we had thus far, I present to you Sheen from the streets of Doro Hey Doro. At number 5, your favorite rat, fuck a Mickey Mouse and fuck a Chuck E. Cheese. We got Yuki Soma from the quarters of Fruits Basket. Number 4, his soul is unblemished, his mind is unyielding, and his body is undying. Folks, I give you Natsuki Subaru, Isekai straight from ReZero. Our special contender is here at number 3, the man who has taken over the hearts of the masses this year with no effort at all. Attention all Eldians, dedicate your hearts for Eren Yeager. At number 2, probably tired of coming in second place, especially after this season of Kaguya-sama, but nonetheless, I present to you, Yu Ishigami. And at number 1, the personification of cynicism, blessed with a brilliant mind, cursed with rotten eyes, I give you Hachiman Hikigaya! And with that, the introductions are concluded. Gentlemen, off to your proper placements. Now, let's get it cracking.
Round 1.
In our first matchup, we have Hachiman versus Leo. Hachiman in this year continued where he left off in prior seasons, coming up with big brain plans that initially seemed crazy, all in the hopes of some greater good. Seeing how well the fake prom was thought out and the balls it took Hachiman to defy Mama Yukino Shida, who has been a bit bad at snafu since season 2. As for Leo, despite his low seeding, he's actually a good mentor figure and a good character. Throughout Arte, he is the constant rock in Arte's life, always guiding her in the most hands-off ways to make her realize her own faults so that she can stand on her own. Additionally, in the Renaissance era, Leo proved to be super progressive as he was the only person who would take Arte as an apprentice, judging her on merit rather than gender, which for that time was a ludicrous thing to do. Unfortunately, I think Hachiman has a little bit too much firepower for Leo, who although was a good character in Arte, wasn't prominent enough to knock off H-Man. So Hachiman advances to the next round. For the next bout, we have Ishigami versus Ishigami in season 1 of Kaguya was never in the forefront, at least in comparison to Kaguya, Shirogane, and Chika, but this year he got more shine. I could go further and say Ishigami arguably had the best character arc in Kaguya-sama thus far, which, considering the cast the anime has, is hard to do in any given season. Now, for Rikuyo, this one is personal for me because in a lot of ways I can relate to Rikuyo. He was a character that struggled to find a passion, decided to settle into a job basically just to pay the bills, and is sort of awkward when it comes to relationships. And even if that description doesn't align with your life, I certainly think people can understand aspects of it. And for that reason, I think Rikuyo was a highlight in seeing yesterday for me. However, Ishigami takes a dub in this battle. Although I felt Rikuyo, Ishigami has a little more going on for him, at least in terms of comedy, which is an important factor in my like of a character. So Ishigami is going to round 2. Now it's prime time. 2 characters from anime done by Studio Mappa, Eren versus Sheen. Eren's use of the rumbling was a shock to a lot of readers, especially when you think back to the Eren of old. His resolve has bled through every page of Attack on Titan, making it clear to us he means business. I also think him showing the human side of shedding tears for his enemies before the rumbling shows that Eren is no monster with no conscience. He understands the gravity of what he's doing, but he has determined it is the best course of action for Eldian freedom. As for Sheen, this is a character I didn't know what to think about initially. He had a dope design and was obviously, as we say, with the shits, but him being on the villain side, I didn't know if I should root for him or not. However, Dorohedoro quickly conveyed that the quote villains unquote were more antagonists than pure evil, and this included Sheen, who actually had depth to him. It also helps that the duo of Sheen and Noi ended up being one of my favorite pairs this year, with a combination of hands and jokes. This is tough, but my vote swings in the favor of Sheen. I know Eren fanboys might question that, but ultimately, my decision is based on how absent Eren was this year. If this was last year, Eren would have won, no question. But this year, Eren hasn't been in Attack on Titan as one might think, and as such, didn't get to show off as much as Sheen in my opinion. So Sheen pulls off the upset and advances. Last matchup of round 1 is Barasu versus Rat Boy. Subaru in this season did not skip a beat. In fact, the onus was more on him to get shit done this season, as he didn't have the help that he got from other characters in season 1, like a Rem, like a Krush, and even like an Emilia. And one aspect of Subaru's character which I'll always praise is his mental fortitude. Sure, knowing that your death will be reversed can cause one to have a sense of security, but conversely, it can make you realize that no matter the circumstance, you have no opportunity to escape. And then 2, being able to bounce back after seeing death and experiencing death the way Subaru has takes a lot of toughness not humanly possible. I mean shit, after getting eaten by murder rabbits, I might have gotten the fuck up out of there. Yuki has been a beacon of light this season of Fruits Basket and has reached the upper echelon in the cast of characters that are excellent overall. The growth Yuki has shown from his past self is glorious to see, to the point that he's almost unrecognizable from the guy in season 1. I'm sorry I had to do this to you, kid, but I know you'll survive it. Subaru is out of the tournament, with Yuki pulling off the second upset in these best boy wars. God damn.
Round 2.
Hachiman, in addition to what he did in this season of Snafu, who he became is also something to take note of. Hachiman grew up. It wasn't sudden, but the character we got in season 3 was a product of Hiratsuka's life lessons, Komachi's fluence, and his interactions with Yui and Yukino. I think the way Hachiman changed was natural because at his core, he was still the rotten-eyed, cynical bastard we knew since the beginning, but he had a lighter touch to him, and I think he became a good representation of what teen growth looks like. Yuki's change, on the other hand, was a little more drastic. He went from being petrified of Akito and paralyzed from his trauma to being able to stand on his own 2 feet and face his fears. Of course, this took time, but Yuki transformed from a boy to a man in the course of a season, and the method in which it was done was masterclass. This boils down to personal preference. I like both of these characters a great deal, but I had to vote on the side of the upset again. I personally like Yuki's journey better than Hachiman's, but this was won by a thin margin. Kaguya-sama fans know how impactful episode 11 was for Ishigami. Here, we saw the flashback of how he ended up being hated by his middle school classmates and how that led to his depression. Although it's not something I can personally relate to, you can definitely sympathize with Ishigami's situation because he became the sacrificial lamb, all in order to protect a girl that he liked. Sam, hey, lay off with the simp slander. I also think Ishigami was a symbol of hope and perseverance because given his story, it would have been easy and understandable for him to latch on to the past and stay complacent. Then you see him taking his cheerleading seriously and him running as hard as he can in a relay race, and it goes to show you that Ishigami is determined to change the script of his life. As for Shin, although his current character is well removed from his tragic past, I think people can respect the person he became today. For someone who lost his father and mother simply because of what they represented rather than who they are, I think Shin should be commended on his choice to fight with honor. He does not use magic on anyone who can't use it themselves, opting to beat the fuck out of them instead. It pains me to say it because I think both of these characters are worthy of being best boy, but Ishigami for me was the lesser man of this battle. Shin had more of a charismatic presence than Ishigami, and ultimately that was the difference.
Final round.
This is what you've all been waiting for. Mano a mano, the unstoppable force against the immovable object. Yuki Soma versus Shin. Let it begin. Yuki in his own way has become the Toru of his own small circle. Yuki was able to internalize the kindness he received from Toru and pass it around to people like Kakeru, Machi, and even Kyo in some instances. And considering that Toru won the Best Girl Wars last year, that is a high compliment to give Yuki. Now in the story, Yuki is the one reaching out to people rather than waiting for it to be done to him. He has branched out from under the shadow of the sun that is Toru and has become one himself. As for Shin, I pretty much exhausted everything there is to say about him. He is such a well-balanced character in every regard. His motivation is simple but clear. He is developed as a character, he is funny as hell, and despite him being an antagonist, he shows sides of himself you wouldn't expect. Like how he becomes embarrassed on occasions when it comes to Noi and him having moments together with her. Plus, Shin is just raw as fuck with the hands and especially his design. But y'all, there can only be one winner. There have been a lot of upsets in this tournament, but that ends here. The best boy of 2020 representing the male division for Fruits Basket is Yuki Soma! If you've watched Fruits Basket, no matter if you're a Kyo fanboy or whoever, I think Yuki's progression as a character is undeniable. Without a doubt, he is deserving of this achievement, and that's why he's walking away with the second Lelouch v Britannia award today. I thank you guys for joining me for 2020's Best Boy Wars. I don't know what next year will bring us, but hopefully it gives us a whole new pool of characters to choose from. I am your host, Satsuki the Savage, and we're closing this thing out. Peace.
Tasting your soul, you're not in control, just giving you gold. Scared of the past, the future is closed.
The hell?
Hey, let me go. I ain't doing nothing. So this is where you were recording. Nice little setup you have here. Too bad you fucked with the wrong company. To net the base, we got this nigga. That'll teach you to steal from Disney. Lock his ass up.